Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's now time for the end of the month report from our host with Shenanigans statements of the Statesman. And now here is the Statesman of Shenanigans himself, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977, episode number 1995. 1995, what a year. 30 years ago, everything has changed. That was the most life-changing year I ever had, and let's just say if I had not experienced that year, I would not be here today. And like I said, that year has basically, changed my life for good, and a lot of things have happened, and don't need to get any details, but I will put out one important event, and that was me getting a job in the real world. As you know, I currently work at the Dartmouth Mall as a housekeeper. But did you know that 30 years ago, I started working there as a dishwasher in a restaurant that was part of the mall at the time, when it was known as the North Dartmouth Mall. That's right, Ruby Tuesday. I was hired by a good friend of mine who I told about this channel, Mr. Jason Esposito. Shout out to you, Jason. Hope you were watching this. And he got me a job as a dishwasher at Ruby Tuesday, so 1995. And that job basically changed my life forever. And I was very thankful I had that job. And yeah, I do miss the people that work there. But, however, 30 years later, I'm still working at the mall, but this time as a mall housekeeper. So yeah, basically that was the year that basically changed my life, 1995. And it also was a life-altering year. You're halfway through the 90s, so you get the halfway mark too. So you're halfway into adulthood at that time. Because I just turned 18 that year, and also I moved here in April 30 years ago as well. I'm not going to tell you where I used to live, but I'm not going to tell you where I live now. But with everybody, the doxing and all that crap going on. But however, 1995 was a life-changing, life-altering year for me. For yours truly, and a lot of things have happened. I'm not going to get into any detail. I'm sure y'all know, from my first two YouTube channels, I talked about my life and everything else. So, yeah, 1995, life-altering year, and, well, this April will be 30 years since being here. So, that's all I gotta say. A lot of things have happened, 1995, 2025, you're talking about a lot of, milestones that are going to be happening, 1980 would be 45 years ago. In fact, 1980 was the year that Pac-Man was first went on the scene. So that means this year marks 45 years since Pac-Man came in. So what are they going to do for a 45th anniversary for Pac-Man? Hopefully Midway and Williams and all that, they can get together and release Miss Pac-Man and give Miss Pac-Man back into the Pac-Man family, for goodness sakes. Because it's getting way out of hand, to be totally honest. Also, this year will mark 45 years since Bullseye came on the air. And as you know, by last episode, I played the game and beat that old Rotten Lightning. So that's pretty good. So we're talking about, this is Shenanigans Statesman of the Statesman. Number 17 overall, but this is the first Shenanigans Statements of the Statesman in 2025. The first one of the year. What do I think of January 2025? Wow. A lot of changes happened this month. And as you know, it was, the holidays, yeah, like I said, the holidays were not that bad until New Year's Eve, obviously. Y'all know what happened. I don't need to go into any detail what happened. So, and as you know, the year 2024, 2025 didn't start off the way I wanted. And I was sick in bed all day on New Year's Day because of this norovirus crap, and didn't want when was the last time the year started off rotten like this? A year for me in my life started off rotten. Well, you had to go back to 2002, 2003, basically. You know, and 2003 was not a pretty gnarly good year either for me. But whatever. That's 22 years ago. We're talking here and now, January 2025. I come back to work. I still do the outside routine until my boss came up to me and says, Eric, we're going to have you work inside. And working inside and changing my schedule from 6 to 10 to 7 to 11. And working Monday through Saturday at one point. So, yeah, okay, no problem. But then they had to, because of we lost labor hours, so they had to cut some hours down. So now I'm working Monday through Friday. And so what do I think about it? Yeah, like I said, downside, you lose money and you lose hours. Upside, I get an extra day off to relax, to recharge and have some fun and all that good stuff. We had a lot of changes being made. SMS no longer runs the maintenance. We have a whole entirely different maintenance crew, and got to interact with them a couple of times, so to speak. Basically we're trying to be professionally at work and all that, and it was a crazy times. I mean, obviously it was slow, so with the winter times, very slow. It happens. So we got that going, and everything, back here, everything's kind of flowing pretty good, and a lot, like I said, a lot of things happen, and everything's flowing. Everything is, good. Everything is just, awesome and all that. Then you got, then you have, then you have everything that, that's happening in it. So it was very, very slow, to say the least. This month was a very slow month at work. Yeah, so it was a very slow month, and like I said, over here we're doing pretty good, and like I said, online it has not been that bad either. But we are, getting ready for the Royal Rumble tonight. Tomorrow night, Royal Rumble. We're gonna have a fantasy drawing for the Royal Rumble. What number our number will be entered, and for the men's and women's Royal Rumble, because there's 2 Royal Rumbles this year, as always, and we shall see what happens. So I made a lot of changes too. I have decided to make the major change I made was, now usually let me just focus. Let me just focus over here for just a second. Now usually my TV, I have an extra screen that was over here, but now it's over here. Okay, it's over here now. That way I don't have to worry about using the TV screen behind me here. The TV right here, I'm trying to spare that, because, trying to spare that. That way we can have some fun, That way, we don't want to wear out the TV. So I figured, smart move is, I think it was a couple of months ago, I bought a $10 monitor at Sabres, and got the remote online and everything else. So all my Shenanigan gaming will be just on this desk. All I'm gonna do is pull out the other webcam, because it still works, and I figured, hey, bada bing, bada boom, right here, So I figured we'd have a lot of fun with that. The weather has not been that bad. I mean, we had that, we had that one big, we had that snowstorm that didn't do much, really 1 to 3 inches or something like that. I don't know what's going to happen. Usually February is where we get hit really hard when it comes to snow and all that. Don't know what will February bring us this year. But, so anyways, I have decided to do some rearranging, and my emulation consoles, that's what I want to call them, emulation consoles, because basically when you have consoles that you play with emulators on them, they're going to be in this Pocky box that I got, and with all, so I got all the content, emulation consoles there. Then my video game library is possibly full. Maybe I'm trying to change the shelves a little bit. Maybe maybe we got that going. So we shall see what happens. You know what I mean? So Patriots season is over, obviously, and we're now back to the Super Bowl that no one wanted. That's right, Kansas City Chiefs, Philadelphia Eagles going at it. Boom. Because their fan bases are very, very bad, So, and that's the reason why nobody likes the Kansas City Chiefs. Now the Chiefs and Eagles are going to, now the Kansas City Chiefs fans should learn how we Patriot fans feel. So there's that. Let's see what else. Yeah, and Nesson's no longer part of basic cables. I can't watch Red Sox games anymore. I'll try to watch some highlights of baseball. I'm still going to try to keep track of baseball. And that's what, that's my ultimate goal. So that's another thing too. So we'll see what happens there. So that's it. That's all the time we have for episode number 1995 of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. The Shenanigans Statesman of the Statesman, number 17. What's going to be next? We have SmackDown tonight. And then we got Card Sharks, Collision, and Royal Rumble tomorrow. And we're, wait, if you think about it, SmackDown is tonight. That will be episode 1996. Card Sharks, 1997. Collision. Yeah, Royal Rumble. That means possibly a Shenanigan. If I throw in a Shenanigan arcade tomorrow, by the end of this week, we'll have 2,000 episodes. I'm dead serious on this. I think that's going to be the case. So, that's all the time we have on the show. And I thank you for tuning in. Until we have another episode coming around. Like I said, tonight we got SmackDown. I'll be hanging out with my good friend Jordy Scow on Chillin' with Jordy, episode 205. On the J-Man's Legit channel. If you're a friend of his and a friend of mine, please subscribe to it. If you haven't already, and if you have, gotta wait for 30 days, man. So there's that. So thank you for tuning in. And until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, door for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.